Hey everybody, this is Kevin over at the J. Kevin Johnson Show podcast. Just here one more time live. It's been a while since I've been live, just because I'm experiencing some technical difficulties and trying to get some things in line. But here I am once again live with you. Just sitting down, kind of going over the news for the day. And kind of just browsing about things that I kind of want to just talk about for about 30 minutes. Just kind of, putting my two grains of salt in, put my 2 cents in, so to speak. This is like I've stated before in previous episodes. This is a place in which I can come and kind of just express myself, or just another medium, another way, another shape or form in which I can kind of just breathe a little bit and outlet all my unimportant, humble opinions without, I guess, offending anybody that I'm aware of anyway, because you can't call in yet. And but you can catch me on one of the social media platforms. So hopefully, this will be a 30 minutes in which you can come and get some value-added content to your life and kind of help you along the way. If not, it's just a 30-minute entertainment session for you, I guess you could say. But just kind of, I've been thinking and just kind of looking over things and just thinking about the need, the essentialness to make sure that we are emotionally resilient in an era or an age or a time in which it's becoming more difficult to maintain your emotional resilience, to maintain emotional stability. And I see this is very important for us today, just being in general. I'm just kind of looking at my personal life too, and that, man, I really need to make sure that my heart and my emotions, my feelings are in line and in check, so that I don't allow myself to dwell in fear or anxiousness or worry or bitterness, or allow anger or unforgiveness, any of these things to take root in my life. And the older I get, the more important I realize how important and essential it is to just functioning healthy and well in life, that you got to make sure that your emotional game, your heart is in line. I've talked about it before, but your heart, it's often looked over with regard to just at a normal physical level, and that a lot of people used to assume, or it was relegated to the function of just being a pump that pumps blood throughout your body. But actually, there's a lot more to the heart that is very interesting. I've been reading the book. I talk about it often. What is that book by Dr. Don Colbert, talking about deadly emotions? And in that book, he talks about the heart, and how, not only him, but he talks about the research done with the Heart Math Institute and some of their findings too, with regard to the heart, and how it's classified It's classified as part of the endocrine system, I believe. But anyway, it produces hormones and stuff, and also it produces hormones like oxytocin, if I'm saying that correctly, the feel good hormone, and the hormone that makes you feel like you're in love, and it's a hormone of attachment that's secreted from moms when they're nursing, and it's secreted when you're feeling good and in love, quote unquote. It sends more information to the brain. The brain sends to it. It has the capacity to remember. It emits an electromagnetic field of up to, I've heard 8 feet, and then I've heard 5 feet too. So, whichever one it is, it's between those ranges. And what that means is pretty much that what you feel, other people feel without you even have to say anything. And I'm sure we've all experienced this. You know, you walk in a room or you get near a person and there's vibes, quote unquote, that they send out. So we're constantly sending vibes out, which is why it's important that we keep our emotional bag nice and clean and toxic free, so that we're not carrying around a lot of toxic emotions that will take root in our heart and not only bring us to a life of unhealthiness and negativeness and bitterness, but also we won't drag others with us, but we'll uplift others around us too as we begin to spiral up as far as our emotional lives are concerned. It's so easy today to downward spiral I see a lot of people dealing with depression and anxiety and worrying about their circumstances and situations. But, there's a lot of people out there too who are just happy and joy filled and just spiraling up, I guess you could say. There's nothing that could touch them, no matter what's going on in life, no matter where their lives are. They just seem to be resilient. They just seem to bounce back. There's nothing you can really do or touch them. They seem to have a peace, a joy, even a happiness, if I can say that. It baffles the normal mind. It's not understandable. So this is why this is one of the things about being emotionally stable and not volatile today. I was looking over the headlines and just looking at like the Paris attack with all them people being killed, and how the act of terrorism is used to instill fear in the masses. An act of terror is to bring terror, to the feeling of terror on a larger group of population, just from one simple, smaller act. So you cannot allow yourself to dwell in fear or anxiousness or worry or anger or anything like that. And then I was just looking at the Paris attacks recently and looking at just over the headlines, some of the things that kind of popped out, the march towards a caliphate state in Europe. And then also here with our southern borders, and what I mean by caliphate state is we see the growing rise of Islam in our world, and the attack on Christians or those who have Christian viewpoints. And along with that, another thing was the statement that Jennifer Lawrence, the lead actress in The Hunger Games, and how she was commenting on the lady who was refusing gay marriage certificates in that Kentucky town, how she was saying that people holding their crucifixes, there might as well be pitchforks, talking about Christians. And her view about Christians and stuff, she was saying that she's from Kentucky, so she knows all about Christians and all that's kind of stuff, and she won't be quiet about it. So we see that it's becoming, just looking at that, it's becoming more important. It's always been important, but it's becoming essential that you don't allow yourself to be distracted, I guess you could say. And just on a more personal level, you might be going through some things in your life that, you never thought would happen to you, but you have to deal with the resulting feelings of them. We're always, people are people, so people are going to offend and people are going to hurt you, and those closest to you, you're most vulnerable to. It always seems to be those who are closest to you that affects you the deepest and the hardest. So, it's important. It's essential. It is a requirement. We are admonished to make sure that our emotional life stays in check. I've been looking, and I've been thinking about this for a while. Just like I said, just looking at my personal life and looking out over the horizon, and being that I love health and wellness in all areas and aspects of human endeavor, but also love other aspects too, as far as wealth creation and entrepreneurship and self-education and the mind. So I'm all over the place. But I just wanted to talk about this today because it's just kind of been it pressed at the forefront in my mind. And I meant to start off with the show with this, 1 Peter 5:7, where he talks about casting your cares on him. And this is talking, God's talking about, well, actually, this is Peter saying to cast our cares onto Christ. Let me see here. 1 Peter 5:7, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. So humble yourself. So it means to take down. It means to depress. It means to bring low, bring yourself down. And the crazy thing about humbling is it takes strength to actually bring yourself down. It takes strength to appear weak. Therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion walketh about, seeking whom he may devour, whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. I'll stop there. That was 1 Peter 5:6-8. But I just wanted to hone in on 7, and that we're admonished to cast our cares on him. We'll let the Father take care of our business. Let the Father do the worrying for us. So that's good to know if you consider yourself called out, or if you consider yourself a follower of Christ on Team Jesus, and that you have a place in which you can unload, let go of those things that are eating at and chipping away at your heart, at your peace. You gotta have a clean heart, and we have to continually ask the Father to purge our hearts out with his word, to be clean emotionally, so we can live our lives free in freedom and live our lives in total peace. Total peace. There's nothing like a peace. And when you look up the word peace, shalom, it's talking about every aspect, every area of our human being, of our existence. This means that, spiritually you be at peace because you'll be at one with your Father, resonating with his frequency, the frequency of truth, perfection. And then also you'll be hopefully you'll be mentally clear, and that if you stay in the word, you'll have your mind continually being transformed into truth, and getting rid of those mental viruses, those mental cages, strongholds that have been set up by the enemy and have been ingrained by the enemy. You'll have that stuff uprooted and pulled out and brought to your attention, stuff that you need to do some work on. And then also, we're talking about your emotions. You want to make sure that your emotional level, that you're dwelling in a stable, balanced state, that you're resilient. So whenever you do get knocked off balance, you won't stay off balance. And that's the key. There's going to be things in life that's going to knock you off balance. It's going to KO you, like Ronda Rousey got KO'd. Some of us are strong like Ronda Rousey. We're at the top of our game. Can't nothing get us. We're a champ. You're the champ. Can't nothing take you down. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you get whooped, and you can't recover. And then you on TMZ talking about I'm ashamed to show my face. So that's a part of life. We all get KO'd. It's gonna happen. It's guaranteed. Just ask Job. And I'm pausing because I'm drinking my coffee. Excuse me. But yeah, you're gonna get KO'd. It's going to happen. You're going to get sucker punched. You're going to turn around and boom, there it is. So we want to make sure that we're emotionally resilient so we can deal with these things. You know, you're gonna go through that breakup. Your marriage is going to fall apart. Your relationships ain't going to be the way it's in which you envisioned, you visualized, you fantasized about that Cinderella story, that Prince Charles story. Things are going to happen. It's just the way of life. So you want to make sure that you're emotionally stable, emotionally resilient to go through these things and deal with them and live a happy and joyful life no matter what. So yeah. Some of the shows I've been listening to, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I read a lot of books. I listen to a lot of interviews and speeches by the so-called experts in all these fields, just because it's what I like to do. You know, some people like to watch basketball. Some people like to watch Duke get whooped on by UK. Some people like to watch UK whoop on Duke. You know, that's your thing. I'm not going to knock that. Sometimes people ask me, Kevin, you going to watch the game? I'm like, no, I'm going to go home and read a book. You know, different people do different things, and I can't help it. It's just the way I am. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way you are. So you stay in your lane, I stay in my lane, and there we are. Put on your blinders, and everybody stays in their lane, and everybody gives each other room to mess up and do their thing. So, I was listening to a show I listen to a podcast often called Upgraded Ape Show Podcast, and it's just about developing your mind and your emotions and the things that you can incorporate in your life on how to do this. And I just recently listened to a show talking about emotional resilience, which is why I'm talking about it today with licensed psychologist, PhD Guy Winch. And this is episode 40. And he was just giving out a few tips, tactics, and strategies that you can implement in your life on how to help you deal with your emotional life. And just 3 of them that kind of just popped out as I was thinking about it was: don't let self-talk beat you down negatively. You know, we've all done this. We all do this. When you mess up, you go, oh, I'm such an, sometimes some of us may say, oh, I'm such an idiot, or I can't believe I done that. We'll say things like, man, I just can't seem to. And he was just talking about the importance of monitoring our self-talk and not beating ourselves up afterwards. You know, you already feel bad, so don't come in and kick your own self while you're down. You gotta to try to let that, be in that moment and have those feelings, but you gotta change your self-talk and monitor your self-talk. Because if it's one thing you got to realize, or it's important that I realize, is that what I say out loud is reprogramming or is programming my subconscious level, and I'm putting myself in a negative loop. So you have to watch what you say to yourself and to other people. This is one thing I'm really learning, and that the older I get, the more I realize how powerful words are. So I have to be careful with my words. When I was younger, I didn't realize it, and I would say and do, and sometimes even now, there are things that I wish I didn't say, or I wish I could take back. But once a word is spoken, it's out there, and it won't come back to you void. So words are seeds. Words are powerful, and me, you, we all have to monitor what we say, and even our tone of voice, how we say it. This is one thing that I'm learning and cultivating and falling down in, but I continually keep it at the forefront. Just recognizing that, sooner or later, I got to get this thing. You have to get this. We have to learn these lessons, these principles, these instructions, so that we can create a better community for everybody. Community, commune and unity. So, it helps, and it helps me realize that, the older I get, that we connected. Are we still there? Okay, I think I'm still recording. I just wanted to make sure. I was knocked off the live feed, and so this is one of the things that happens when you're going live. You know, things like this happen, which is why I like it. It's exciting. So just please bear with me as I learn how to deal with these technical difficulties. Talk and tech is not my thing. I wasn't born to multitask, but I'm learning how to do it. But anyway, just talking about emotional resilience and some things that you can implement in your life, some things that, I gathered by listening to this psychologist talk, this PhD expert. He was talking about have ways to emotionally outlet your emotions, feelings, have have places and people that you can talk to and you can unload on it. If not people, if you can't find anybody in confidence, if there's one place I know you can go to the Father and unload on Him. His shoulders are very broad, very big, and He can take all your complaints and frustrations. So that's ultimately number one. You can confide all your secrets, all your deepest, darkest things. He knows. He likes relationship, and He want to hear you talk about it. He wants to hear and see you come to Him. And then also you find that special friend, that person in which you can be open and vulnerable to, whether it be your spouse or maybe just, like I said, a good friend or a brother, a sister, cousin, somebody, just somebody that's big enough to take it and can that will give you a willing ear and help you out and just let you unload. We all need that. We're human beings. We have been created with this need, this capacity to do it, to receive, to give and receive. So we're containers. Don't forget that. We are temples. We are containers, and we're not meant to hold a lot of negativity and trash. So we're meant to unload this stuff on a regular basis. Even the most Ted Kaczynski-iest of us all needs somebody to confide in. You know what I'm saying? We need somebody to just say, hey, I hear you. I understand. I know where you're coming from. I can feel you. So have ways to emotionally outlet your emotions. Get in positive environments with positive people. This is definitely a plus. Don't stay around negative people too long because they will pull you down. Negativity always pulls you down. So you want to find a group of people, associates, influence. Whether it don't have to be people. Get books, get movies, get something. Surround yourself with positivity as much as you humanly possibly can. And this will help keep you up. This will help keep the cycle of positivity in your life spiraling up versus going down. And a small tactic that I've used that I think helps me out is that I use my social media platforms for that. I'm constantly posting, pictures of babies, pictures of creation, pictures of beautiful things, beautiful people, pictures of just things that make you laugh, make you smile. Just it makes you appreciate life. So these are things that help me enforce and reinforce that positivity in my life, so that I know facially my face is not designed to smile. People used to call me stone faced or stone faced Johnson or something. People used to say, why you always looking mad, but over the years, as I get older, I learn how to cultivate a nice smile, a decent smile, and learn how to work on these things. I just realizing the power of it, and how it affects you at a physiological level, how it sets in motion a chain of hormones that affect you physically. So it's important, very important. And then also the book Deadly Emotions by Don Colbert. You want to make the choice for health. You want to make the choice to have a good attitude, a good outlook. You want to always speak words of encouragement to yourself, to others. I know it's easier said than done, but this is what we want to work towards on a regular basis. And then you want to get in the Word of God and read it out loud to yourself sometimes. I know one of the tricks I've done over the years is I've gotten the audio version, and I'll listen to like a whole book in one sitting. And it's easier to do that than actually read it sometimes. So sometimes it's easier and it's good to just sit there and let the word be read to you. That way, you're constantly having good stuff going into your outlets. You're constantly having good stuff going in, because one thing you realize is that what goes in will and it must come out. You cannot keep it in. You cannot hide it. Whatever you're dealing with, emotionally, physically, mentally, whatever, it's going to show. You can't hold it in. It's going to display itself or manifest itself. So, you want to make sure that you're speaking the word of God. That'll help uproot and purge and clean the house, so to speak, and help keep these things at bay, so that no matter what happens in the outer world, the external world, on the inside, you will be emotionally stable, resilient. You're not always going to be stable. There's going to be times you're going to be knocked off your feet, so to speak, but you can bounce back. And then also you want to give God your frustrations. That's why I read 1 Peter 5 and 7, 5, 6 through 8, and that you want to cast your care on him. In other places, he said, come unto me, my burdens, what I give you, they're light burdens. Some other tips and strategies is you want to learn how to live in forgiveness. Just let things go. You want to check your thoughts, which affect your beliefs, which affects your behavior. So you want to make sure you're checking out and thinking about what you're thinking about and keeping that in check. You want to laugh a lot. I'm talking about laugh. Make sure you get one good gut busting laugh in a day if you can. Laughter is one of the best, easiest, simplest medicines that you can prescribe for yourself. You want to smile more. You want to lighten up. Think about it. If it ain't going to matter tomorrow, or if it ain't going to matter a year from now or 5 years from now, don't sweat it. It's the small stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff, as they used to say. So just, you want to learn how to live in a light mood. And then you want to let people be people. People are going to do what people do, and the older you get, you realize it. And the older I get, I realize it that, people are just going to be people. So you have to accept people at face value for what they are. Let them read their book to you. Don't judge the cover. Just say, hey, this is a cover. Go ahead and tell me your story. Without my fantasy or expectation, or without my placing on it any kind of demands or anything like that. Just let you be you, and you let me be me, and we be mature adults about life. So a lot of these tactics are easier said than done, but that's just a few things how-tos you can do. Oh, another thing that I've been learning about and practicing the last year is I didn't realize how important, even down to like smells and touch and all these kind of things, how important, how essential that a lot of these things really are to our well-being. I've been delving and experimenting with this for a while, just to see if it actually worked and there was some truth to it. And especially when it comes to emotions, I'm learning that emotions and essential oils go hand in hand. And the way I came about this was, how did I come about this? Oh, well, for the last couple of years, I've been becoming zealous about health and wellness, just because the world in which we live is in design. The world in which we live, and the world that has been designed for us, is to keep us in a state of managed death. And I started with the physical, and then I started branching out to how important it is to make sure that our spirits are connected with the source, with consciousness, with Yahweh, with God through His Son Jesus, and then how we want to make sure our minds are continually being transformed and shaped like His by Him, and that we want to allow our emotions to be shaped and attached to Him so we can be stable and resilient, and then physically too. But one of the areas that I've been looking at for a while is essential oils and how powerful they are as far as your mood, your feelings, and your state of being and your well-being. These things are powerful. And if you could get a good quality essential oil, one that's I think the label is CPTG or certified pure therapeutic grade, this can be a really powerful tool that you can implement in your life. And I can speak about it with confidence, and that I several times a day you'll see me pulling out something out of my bag with regards to an essential oil to either one help lift me up when I'm down, to either one bring me down and get me more balanced and serene, to help me focus. There's a million different ways you can incorporate this in your life. So before I just popped in my head before I decided to get off, and that this may be an area you want to look at, and I'll link to it in the show notes. I'll try to start leaving show notes of sources and things, books, and things on the blog. If you go to the blog, jkevinjohnson.com, you'll see a lot of the things that I link to, just as a way. And if you find any of what I'm saying interested, or if it's adding value to your life, you want to check it out more, you can also try and it give you a starting off point, at least a jumping off point to as far as your research. And I do this because I know when I first started researching and first started finding out things, I would ask people, so where do I go? What do I do? Who do I talk to? But I don't know. You just can't look. You just can't look, man. Google it. I'm like, well, there's a trillion different things out there. I'm listening to you because you have gained a foothold of trust in my life. So whatever you say and point the direction you point me in is at least a good place I think I should start. And a lot of people really didn't have any finite place to start. So I leave breadcrumbs and stuff out there for those who really want places to start and want to start changing their lives, and who want to start cultivating little Edens wherever they may find themselves, little nuggets, little sections of paradise. If you want to, you can title it any way you want to title it. One day I was going to call the podcast Living Like the Elite on a Budget. Living an elitist lifestyle on a budget, cultivating a life of peace, designing your life, building your Eden, whatever you want to title it. These are things you can help that will help you live well and help you enjoy your life to the best that you're capable of, to the best of the potential that was embedded and innate in all of us by our Creator. So this is Kevin over at jkevinjohnson.com. Just come check me out, check us out. And when I say us, I'm in the process of starting a network to feature and promote other positive people that will help bring positive, good, valued content to you. So this is Kevin over at jkevinjohnson.com. Thanks for joining me live, and I look forward to talking to you guys and girls later.